Track 3.
Oh, good morning. Is this the right place to report a theft?
Yes, it is.
Right. I've had my bag stolen. It happened last night when I was...
Slow down a minute. Let's get some details from you first. Can I have your name?
Yes, it's Anna Anderson. That's A-N-N-A. Anderson, A-N-D-E-R-S-S-O-N.
And what's your address?
Do you want my home address or my address here in New Zealand?
Let's start with the local address here.
I'm staying in a hostel. It's called Sunrise House.
Sunrise Hostel.
No, house, not hostel.
Oh, okay. Is that the one in Beach Road?
Yes, that's right.
Right. Now, can you describe the bag that was stolen?
Yes, it was a leather bag, a black leather one. But I'm more worried about the contents because it has my passport and my watch in it.
I see. Do you know the passport number?
Yes, I think it's 4528 7709.
4528
7709.
7099.
No, 7709.
Oh, and can you tell me what kind of watch it was?
I can't remember the make, but it was quite small, with a silver band.
Okay, no make, but it's a small silver watch. We'll get this description sent round to all the stations in the area. Meanwhile, I suggest you get in touch with the embassy.
Track 4.
The famous scientist Charles Darwin was a brilliant man, and his wife, Emma, was also intelligent. She liked literature and spoke French, German and Italian well. She was a graceful dancer and an excellent piano player. Emma Darwin was born Emma Wedgwood, one of 8 children from the well-to-do Wedgwood family, well known to this day for their fine plates and china. Emma coped well in society, whereas Charles did not. He wasn't in the least bit interested in music, nor did he have time to read anything but science. Nevertheless, it's said that Emma made a successful and happy career out of the marriage and gave birth to 10 children between the years 1839 and 1856. Her life has been documented in a recently published biography called Behind Every Great Man.
Track 5.
School of Architecture, Professor Burt's office.
Oh, good morning. I was wondering if you could give me some information about the forthcoming Architecture 21 conference. Dates, enrolment procedures, costs, that sort of thing.
Well, the conference runs from the 18th to the 20th of October.
18th to the 20th of October. Oh, good. I'll still be here then. And, where exactly is it being held? Is it at the university, as in previous years?
No, it's actually being held at the Pacific Hotel. We've rather outgrown the university conference facilities, so we've opted for this new venue.
Right, Paradise Hotel.
No, the Pacific, that's P-A-C-I-F-I-C.
Oh, right. And presumably we can get accommodation at the hotel?
Yes, but you'll need to contact them direct to arrange that. I'll give you the number for hotel reservations. Have you got a pen ready?
Yes, go ahead.
It's area code 07 and then 9333 2266.
And what's the registration fee?
Individual fees are $300 for the 3 days or $120 a day if you only want to attend for 1 day.
Are there any student concessions?
There's a 50% concession for students, so that's $150 for the 3 days or $60 a day.
And am I too late to offer to give a talk?
Oh, I'm pretty sure you've missed the deadline for that.
Oh, really? But I've only just arrived here in Australia. Is there any way I could have a paper accepted?
Well, you'd need to talk to Professor Burt, the conference organiser. I can put you through if you like.
That'd be great. Oh, and can I just check the spelling of his name? Is that B-U-R-T?
Yes, that's correct.
Professor Burt speaking.
Oh, hello. My name's John Helston. I'm an architecture student at London University. I'm here in Australia for 3 months, looking at energy-saving house designs.
Right.
I'm interested in giving a talk on my research at the conference, but I believe I may have missed the deadline.
Well, strictly speaking, you have. The closing date was last Friday.
Oh, no.
But we may be able to include your paper if it fits into our program. But you'll have to be quick.
OK. What do I need to do?
Send me a summary of your talk. And make sure you include an interesting title for the talk. Something to attract people's attention.
OK. Interesting title. Right. I'm looking at ways of designing buildings for tropical climates that don't rely on the need to include air conditioning, so I'm sure I can come up with something.
Yes, quite. But remember, the outline should be no more than 300 words.
Right. I'll try to keep it down to 300 words, but would 400 be OK?
No, not really, because we have to print it in the proceedings and we just don't have the space.
Sure. I understand.
And also, can you send me a short CV, the usual stuff, name, age, qualifications, that sort of thing?
Right. OK. Short CV.
Actually, you can email it to me. That'd be quicker. Sure.
What's your email address?
Well, the best thing would be to send it to the conference administrative officer at info, that's INFO, at uniconf.edu.au.
Right. I'll do that straight away.
Unit 8, page 69. Exam Listening, Section 4. You will hear part of a lecture on wildlife. Listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40.
Thousands of exotic plants and animals have been introduced into the British Isles over thousands of years. These newcomers compete with native species for resources and can also cause major changes in the wildlife and in the habitats of our countryside. The problem is not just British, of course, but global, and it has been going on for centuries. One good example of this I'd like to mention today is the European starling. The starling to us in the UK is a fairly ordinary little bird, about 12 inches long. In flight, it appears to be black or grey with tiny white spots. So it's a very ordinary-looking, almost dirty-looking bird. It nests in trees and buildings and can be found in the country and in towns. It travels in large flocks, leaving the nests in the morning and returning in the early evening. It feeds on insects and fruit. Its native range includes the British Isles and Finland, but it is also found in most of Europe and parts of Asia and Africa. In the British Isles and Finland, however, it has suffered a huge decline, and in these countries there is an effort to conserve the species. It is a different story in some of the places where it has been introduced. For example, the population in the USA is estimated at 170 million birds. Also, they are becoming a big problem in Australia and New Zealand. Starlings, as I have said, nest in trees, and it has been found that they are more aggressive than native species, native that is to Australia and New Zealand, when they are looking for nesting places. They therefore compete with native species for nests, and also they drive those species away from nests. So, this nest-building activity causes harm to native species, but also they are a nuisance to humans. They gather in large flocks of thousands of birds and feed together on commercial crops. This causes great financial damage to farmers. And they also make a mess, both in the town and the countryside. There is also the problem that starlings may carry diseases which affect both humans and other animals, although this has not been really confirmed and we are waiting for more work to be done on this. The question arises, what are we to do about foreign species which not only do damage to native species but interfere with human activity? We have 3 approaches in theory, but usually it is not a free choice between them. Usually we have to do the best we can and that money will allow. The best approach, of course, is prevention, and many countries have passed legislation which attempts to limit or prevent the arrival of non-native species in their countries. In particular, there are many international regulations on how and where ships may pick up and deposit water, and this is a major contribution to preventing the accidental transport of fish and organisms by ship, since accidental transport by ship is a frequent cause of fish and other creatures going from place to place. Ports also have special areas where water can be deposited, and many of them have treatment facilities to kill any foreign species that may establish themselves in their waters. For fish and organisms that live in water, these international regulations are useful, but obviously not all species can be dealt with in this way. Sometimes it is simply too late for prevention. Then we have to consider eradication or management. By management, I mean that we have to decide how best to live with the new creatures and how to keep their numbers down. However, this becomes not only a scientific question, it can be a matter of choice what population level of an invasive species we want to maintain. This choice involves costs. There is the cost of living with the species, and there is the cost of managing the species over time, and species management is usually a long-term business without any foreseeable end. However, there is not just the economic aspect to this question. We can also consider the ethical point. How should we treat animals which we have, sometimes deliberately, introduced into the environment? Is it permissible just to exterminate a number of them convenient to ourselves? The most important decision has to be made in the political forum, whatever considerations go into the making of that decision. These questions are relevant also to the approach of eradication, which is another option, but which does not have an encouraging history. Many attempts have been made to eradicate introduced species.